I'm a huge fan of the Ys series, been playing them for years, but my fanboyism started only a couple of years ago. Thankfully, I've played them all except the fifth one that never came out of Japan. The first three games are quite popular among fans, especially since they've been ported or remade a million times. Ys 4 eventually became Memories of Celceta on the Vita, and it's coming on the PS4 soon. The love still continues on with 6, 7, and specifically 8, which threw the series into commercial success. So what is the most underrated title in this legendary series? Ys Origin, of course. That's my pick for this video, as I believe it didn't quite get the attention it deserved. I can play this excellent title over some of the others any day, anytime. Origin is the prequel of them all, chronologically speaking, taking place 700 years before the events on the first game. Obviously you don't play as adult Kristen here. Instead you have two different characters to choose from, each with their own story. Beat the game with both and you unlock a third protagonist. Now, I think this game is underrated because of its overly addictive gameplay mechanics. It took the new battle and gameplay mode in the remake of Ys 3 on the PSP and improved it. It was originally released for PC, I know, but I played the enhanced port in modern systems. Controls in this game are really good, more so dare I say than some of its predecessors, including Felghana. This means the action and the platforming stress you less and help you instead into having more fun. Now, the Ys series is known for having some really cool boss battles. I don't know why some of them here felt more memorable than in other games. Perhaps because there was a very unique way to defeat them with tons of challenge. Beating them was extremely rewarding, to be honest. Don't get me started on the music since it shines through like in every single title in the series. So you see, Ys Origin has the same problem as Final Fantasy V. It's heavily underrated because even though it's just as good as some of the others, no one talks about it. And that is why I chose this excellent game for this video. Another big franchise still spanning its popularity nowadays is the Tales of series. It's been around since 1995 with the release of Tales of Phantasia on the Super Famicom. So it's been 25 years! We got most of the titles, thankfully, but some stayed in Japan. If you're a fan of these games, you know very well which ones are the most rated and the most popular. But there's one that's just as good as any other, better than some in my opinion. And of course I'm talking about Tales of Legendia on the PlayStation 2. Granted, I am aware on why some gamers disliked it, considering they played Symphonia first, or some of the others. However, that's their problem. Doesn't mean at all Legendia is bad, being criminally underrated as a matter of fact. So it was a collaboration called Project Melfes, including developers of the Tales studio and also some from the Tekken and Soul Calibur series. There are three main reasons why this game is on my list. None of them involve the fact that it's my favorite in the series, by the way. First, Legendia has an extremely beautiful world. It takes place in a ginormous ship called the Legacy, which is like a big continent of sorts. The detail in the art style, specifically some of the dungeons, is like no other I've ever seen in the series. And my god, the music. Motoi Sakuraba wasn't there this time. Instead, Masaru Shina took the reins. He created an orchestra of symphonies beautifully done that resonate deep inside the magnificent world of Legendia. The second reason why this game is the most underrated is the characters. The series is known for having major focus on the character development, and I have to tell you, I've played every single title in the franchise that's available in English. No other, and I mean it, no other compares to Legendia's, because once you reach the end of the game, you realize it's not over yet, and there's a really long episode divided into several chapters. Each one of them is exclusively dedicated to every single character. So the development here is honestly as if you were reading a long series of books from the same author. Last but not least, Legendia stands out too for its battle mechanics. Indeed, I admit it's a love it or hate it system. However, if you like the first Tales of games, then this is a perfect evolution fully in 2D of them. Using Xenol feels like a normal beat 'em up. Since I love that genre, imagine how I felt when I played this game. Of course, as usual, you can use any playable character and see which one fits you the most. Honestly, just seeing these characters grow, fight, struggle and bond while the story unravels in such a beautiful and enigmatic world makes other titles in the series pale in comparison. And that is why I think Legendia is the most underrated Tales of title in the franchise. Fire Emblem is my second favorite video game series of all time. I enjoy the heck out of every single title there, even the mobile spin-off Heroes. So if I could choose the most underrated of them all, it will make sense to choose one of the older games, right? Nope! I think the GBA titles still get enough love, even for me, just as much as the GameCube and Wii games, especially considering the prices of those nowadays. I confess I was gonna choose Shadow Dragon for this video, but it was the black sheep of the family until Fates came out. Though it came pretty close to beating Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia. That is my choice today as the most underrated title of them all. So why is a remake here? It was originally released as Fire Emblem Gaiden for the Famicom, like a side story to the original Shadow Dragon. It took more than 25 years to be released in English, completely remade this time. The attention was there for a while, but eventually the other games took over once again. Echoes is the only game in the series where you can switch from time to time between its two main characters, meaning you get the full story in one single playthrough. Each party has different playable characters, subplots and battles. I've seen other RPGs pull this mechanic too, but often you end up playing the same missions and fighting the same enemies no matter the character you choose. Not in Echoes though, and that's what makes it so special. In this remake there's no real waifu system, something that I felt damaged the franchise's reputation a little, so I was relieved to see it was gone. Of course you can still bond with other characters, just like you can do in every other title in the series. Last but not least, in this remake you can go into dungeons and explore as if you were playing another RPG. There are encounters there which help you grind your characters as much as you can. Not only is Echoes a friendly approach to the series, but also for beginners and veterans alike. I truly enjoyed all 3DS titles, including Fates, but if I had to choose the best one, it will easily be Echoes. Its unique features and original mechanics are what make me believe it's criminally underrated despite being just a few years old.